just don't know. Say the world just don't know what they will soon know. The strike to the full, there's no rule, it's just how I feel. Listen close between lines, I be spitting what's real. Say the world just don't know what they will soon know. This is the anthem for those who stay peace amidst the ruckus. God sends us what we can handle, and look where he stuck us, in the belly.
Okay, sorry I'm a little late. I'm running from a workshop. You would think I was literally running from the workshop like it was in another place. It's in my room, but I pretty much just, and yeah. So give me together. That's my water over there. I gotta grab my water too. By the way, while you wait for me to get myself together after a 40-minute workout in my Goddess Awakening 90-day program, so that's why I'm a little sweaty right now. So just give me a second. I don't even have my notes or anything together. I'm like a hot mess right now. And this is obviously the wrong book. Okay. Here we go. All right. Here. So, today's question is forgiving someone. Turn on my desk light. Is forgiving someone who wronged you truly necessary for spiritual growth? And that's a deep question, and I'd love to hear people's thoughts. You know. Yeah, hey Jabri. Yeah, I just said I just finished teaching doing a 40-minute femme healing energy shifting workout for peace. So I'm a little sweaty, kind of rushing from that. My all over my bed. I'm like, yeah, trying to get together now. Let me grab my water. Whew, okay. So I asked that question because there's two sides to that coin. You know, there's the people who say if you don't forgive, you know, you cannot spiritually grow. You'll carry that energy with you, and it'll block the good things that are coming your way. Okay, that's one view. Then there's others who do not feel the same way as far as forgiveness is concerned. There are people who feel like they can grow and continue to flow whether they forgive or not. Now, my view on this is kind of torn as far as can you spiritually grow and be holding on, be in need of forgiving people. I would say, and this is my own opinion, I want you guys to put your thoughts into the comments of what you feel. In my opinion, and this is not even from a business point of view, I'm not even asking this question from a business point of view. I'm asking as far as needing to forgive maybe a family member or a friend. Do you feel you can still spiritually grow and progress holding on to that? Now, here's my take. It's a yes and no thing, because on one side of things, you can block your blessings. Yes, you can. I do agree with that. That if you are in need of forgiving someone and you haven't done that yet, then you can block the blessings that are coming your way. But, and here's the but, that is only possible, see, if you're harboring negative feelings still. Because you can say, okay, you can even say, I forgive somebody. I forgive them for what they did. And in the back of your mind, you you still harbor the effects of whatever they did, and you still have the feeling whenever you see them of what they did, then your forgiveness still is not going to clear your energy of blocks. Okay, you don't need to, because that takes too much energy to be the person forgives. Well, that's true too. That's true too. I would say the person who just doesn't want to carry that energy any longer will step forward and just say, look, I forgive you, it's a wrap, it's over, I'm sorry, or whatever. But yes, forgive without forgetting the situation. Now, when you don't forget, don't you think that a little bit of that is still being held inside? And that was my other question, is when people say forgive, but don't forget. Okay, if I don't forget, then how can I forgive? Because every time I remember the situation that caused the rift in the first place, I'm going to be upset all over again. So it's a little difficult, that one. Because I used to say all the time, forgive, but don't forget. Forgive, but don't forget. But I realized by not forgetting, I still harbor the same feelings for people that I feel wronged me. So that there has to be another way around that. And I guess I started to feel like if you don't carry ill, negative feelings, then forgiveness is not always a necessity. Okay. Now that's true. You don't forget, so you don't make repeat the same stuff again and again. The only thing is, by remembering, you are going to still have that same emotion keep coming back. It's no way somebody can remember something negative someone did to them and smile about it. Like, I remember when he did that or she did this to me, and it put me in a real bad spot. But now, you know what? That's a lie, because there are things people look back on and go, but now I can laugh at that. That to me is when you've let go of the situation. You can say, I don't forgive that person. No, I will never deal with that person again. And I will never forget what they did to me. However, when I look back at the situation now, it's not that serious. So I'm not carrying that energy with me, whatever. And to me, I think that's a healthy way too. I mean, I've been told that I hold a grudge. My views on grudge holding. Sometimes you have to burn the bridge, because if you don't, that same energy is going to keep coming. So you got to burn the bridge to keep a boundary, because I've had to do that in relationships where it seems like no matter how many times you break up, that same person keeps coming back. You keep going back. You keep coming back. It keeps coming back. And it's not even so much that you're forgiving them. It's just that there's no boundaries set up. The bridge is still there for them to always cross again when they feel like the fire's out. Oh, she good now. Okay, I'm going to try and make my way back again into her life. And sometimes you don't want to be bothered with that. That's a distraction. That could cause you to lose focus. It could cause you to repeat things again, even though you remember what the problem was the first time. So sometimes not forgetting don't even make a difference. You remember what the person did to you, and you're like, okay, but we were really cool, we were really close, we really had love for each other. Come on back, we'll try it again. And then they do it to you again. Now, mind you, you remembered what they did the first time, but you thought this time would be different. And that's why sometimes for me, after a while, I have to just be like, okay, that's it. You can't come back across. Okay, see, that's good. And see, it took me a long time when it came to, I had an ex one time, and we were, all of us, me, his friends, everything, were very, 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 very close. Almost all of us living together. And when me and him broke up, I stayed close with the friends. And one day he asked me, he was like, how come you don't hug me and treat me like a brother, and you say brother to them, and I don't understand. And I told him, I said, because a part of me is still wounded from the deeds that happened during our relationship. So it's a little hard for me now to look at you and say, oh, my brother, my bro, So it took me like, probably 15 years too, just to finally release that energy. Just to release it enough so I wasn't letting it come back. Because I kept letting it come back again and again and again and again, like a crazy person, thinking this time it'll be different. Same person, but this time it's going to be different. And it was never different. So, sometimes, we have to make a boundary. That's it. I'm not forgiving you anymore. I think when people say forgive in order to grow spiritually or lighten your load, they're not really, I think they're misunderstanding what that means. It doesn't mean forgive this person and now you love them unconditionally and you've forgotten completely what they did and you welcome them back into your life because you forgive them now. Or you don't welcome them back in. You keep them at a distance, but you completely forgive and release that energy. Now, I would say, really, forgiveness is a releasing of energy. You have to release the feeling, the energy behind the deed that caused the rift. Once you can diffuse that feeling, then you can look at the person and not see those memories again. Once you can look at that person and not see the bad deeds they did to you anymore, and now you can start to get to know them on a different level, then you work from there whether or not you're going to keep them in your life. But I feel like you can spiritually grow without forgiving everybody who's wronged you. You can spiritually grow if you are not still holding a negative feeling toward it. Like Stacey, how you said, when you remember certain incidents and stuff from your ex-husband, it does not cause you anger or pain or sadness or any feelings. That's where a person has to get to in order to really truly forgive. Hey, Aunt Pat. Yeah. So for me, that's my feelings, is you have to release the feeling of what they did to you, how you felt. A lot of things with humans, I realize, is based on emotion, how we feel. That dictates everything. How you feel dictates everything. I mean, if you really stop and think about it, you can, for example, be in a disagreement with somebody, and if you can find humor in this disagreement, then you'll feel like lighthearted about it. We're just going back and forth, he's being funny, I'm being funny, we're not agreeing, but we're just having a friendly debate. That's a different energy completely. You're having a friendly debate with somebody, and maybe it starts to turn. Now it's starting to not be so friendly. And in those incidences, to me, say the person says something hurtful to the point where you can't forget it. I don't feel that you can no longer spiritually grow unless you're beating yourself up for this. If you are sitting and going, either you're harboring this pain, the feeling, or you're harboring the feeling of guilt because you can't let go of the pain. So many things would be different in our lives depending on perception. You can look at, like I said, the first example, you can look in an argument with somebody, a debate, and see the humor in it, and maybe just make it a friendly disagreement. Or it can turn left, where you start to look deeper into what they're saying. Now I don't like how they said that or what they said, and it starts to get serious. It's all about perception and feeling. How something makes you feel, how someone makes you feel, controls the world. It controls whether or not there's going to be an argument, whether or not you're going to have peace of mind, how you feel in the moment. And we have control over that. But a lot of us act like we don't. We act like we have no control over our emotions. Whenever something happens, we're in reaction mode. This is how I'm gonna react to that. We never act like we have a moment to think before we react. And that would cause a whole lot less pain that people go through. If when I was going through stuff with one of my exes, the one I was with before my actual mate, if I had stepped back from the situation and started to look at him, sometimes we get stuck on ourselves, how they're making me feel, what they did to me, how could they do that? And I had to step back, and look at him. And this is once I was out of the relationship. While I was in the midst of it, I was on reaction emotions. I'm just reacting, you know. But now I can step back and I can look and I can say, well, he wasn't in a great space at the time we were together. He was going through this and that, you know, different things were happening in his family. And that's not an excuse, but it made me look at the deeds and have a little compassion. Like, wow, you know, because anybody who would do something to hurt another person is obviously a hurting person. So when you can stop and look at that and go, that person must be going through a lot of stuff. And if you actually know for sure they are, then sometimes it can lessen your anger or sadness towards whatever they did towards you. But to me, I feel like if you can change the way you feel about the person and situation, then you can still spiritually grow. Like, what's stopping you? You know, because you decided you don't like somebody, now you can no longer sit and meditate and breathe. No, you can't if when you meditate and breathe, this person is coming into your mind or in your head. But if you are completely in your mind and yourself on your breath, your breathing process, then you can still spiritually grow. During the spiritual growth process that issue that you're hanging on to with someone. Maybe you can see during the process if you're ready to let it go. You know, maybe you ain't ready yet. You know, but to me, it's all a healing process, forgiveness. And anybody who says, oh, I just let things go, or I just forgave and it was easy and you just have to let things go. I forgive you for what you've done to me and I love you. And, you know, and I hate to say it, sometimes I feel like certain religious groups, they take that route and they're not really thinking of the feeling of it. It's more of it sounds right to say, you did this to me, but we forgive you and we love you. And, you know, God still loves you and blah, blah, blah. And I would always want to question them. Like, do you really feel that? Especially in cases where someone took the life of someone and someone's like murdered somebody's family member. And then they stand in court and can say, looking at this murderer, I forgive you, I love you, and God loves you, and God bless you. What? I know I don't have that much power in myself to do that. I don't. So when I see people do it, sometimes I question them, like, did they really forgive? Or is that what their religious background has conditioned them to have to say and try to feel? So that's a question for another time. Like, to be conditioned into feeling like forgiveness is the right way, rather than forgiving because you want to let go of the negative energy you've been harboring against this person. You know? So for me, I only forgive people when I feel like they are apologetic for what they did. And that's just me. You have to, in some way, shape, or form, either come to me and let me know you are sorry, show me you're sorry, say you're sorry, whatever the case may be. But I need a sign that you did not mean to hurt me or anger me or whatever you did. You know, I can't just simply say, I forgive you, you know, I'm good. I'd be lying, you know. And I do have people that I have not forgiven. I feel like certain things they've done just tarnished, you know, our vibration, my connection to them. And I never really get over what they did to me. However, I don't harp on it. I don't hang on to it. It doesn't make or break my life. I don't think about them daily, and the incident, it's something that I kind of put behind me. And to me, that's a tip for forgiveness. Sometimes some things, just let them go. Put it behind you. Okay? You don't have to forgive the incident, but don't keep it in your vibration. If you are holding on to the thought and the memory, it's still in your vibration. Then yeah, you are going to struggle spiritually growing, because every time you try to clear your mind, that picture's going to come back. Every time you see that person, you're going to think about it again. So for me, forgiveness comes when you either feel that the person is now sorry for whatever they did to wrong you, or you feel you no longer are attached emotionally to the situation. But yes, Stacey, and that's my point. I'm like, sometimes I feel like saying the forgiveness comes from more of a church background, because you feel that's the right thing to do, and that's what Jesus or the Bible or whatever would want you to do and say and feel. But just saying it means nothing. You have to really feel it. And to me, and I'm so sorry too to hear about your stepson, but it's no way I can say I could forgive someone who did something like that to someone in my family. What I could do is get over the feelings that incident brings on in me. If I can process those feelings, and because in a situation like that, you're not going to get an apology. So you can't wait for the person to show you, oh, they're sorry, to feel better. You have to start to look at the situation and perceive it different in order to feel about it. And that's difficult. That takes a process, especially in a situation like that where you have to try to find the light in a dark, dark, dark situation. Most people will grasp on to the fact that when someone leaves this planet, they're no longer burdened, they're no longer in pain, they no longer have to worry about the chaos and the stresses of the world. And sometimes that brings comfort to people, sometimes it does not, because you'd rather have the person here with you. So, to me, yeah, emotions have to be processed. Otherwise, the I forgive, I love you is not coming from a sincere place. So, and I'm big on sincerity and big on being real and authentic. And I'm not going to say I forgive someone if I don't. I'm just not. I'll tell them, like, look, I don't really forgive you. I just don't want to be bothered with you. I had to tell somebody that recently. Just last month, I had to tell someone. It's not a hate. It's not that I hate you, because they tried to say I hated them. It's not a hate thing. I don't like what you said and what you did. And I noticed a lot of routine with you is you attract a lot of drama. There's always drama around you. I don't want that in my life. So I feel it's better that we are more distant, and that's it. I don't hate you. I don't think about every day what you did. I just don't want to be bothered with you anymore. I don't want you in my life. I don't want that. And they tried to translate it as I hated them. And I don't even experience hate. I experience deep dislike. But hate somebody, to me, hate means you could care less if they lived or died. And I haven't been dragged to those depths yet by friends or family, people I know, So that said, that's pretty much all I have to say on that topic. To me, it's something that can be tossed around a lot because different people have different points of views. I just know for me, anybody who works with me, I teach forgiveness in the form of perceiving the person in a different light, not looking at them as they are, but seeing them for where they come from and what they've been through and what could have led them to behave in such a way. And I also look at my emotional reaction to what they did. And is there a way that I can find compassion for this person? And if I can't find compassion, then is there a way that I can get over what they did enough that I can let them slide and fade on out my life without any emotional attachment? And to me, that's the best route. And yes, you can continue to spiritually grow. You You just have to make sure you're not hanging on to any negative energy and feelings from that incident. That's the only things that'll block your chakras, give you a shaky aura, make your vibration off. It's the stuff you keep in your vibration. So as long as you can let go of the incident and forgive from a place of emotionally letting go, spiritually grow. You know, it's all where you put your focus, what you focus on. If you focus on the negative, then you're blocking it. You block yourself, you know. And that's pretty much it. You know, that's it. We'll continue to discuss in the comments. I'm going to run now and get something to eat and some water. I'm worn out from my workout. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you again tomorrow. Let me see. And my question tomorrow, see, the last time I was on, my question was for artists and creative-minded people and everything. This one, tomorrow, my question is for parents of disabled or special needs children. My question is going to be, so I'll repeat it again tomorrow, but just to give you food for thought for now. What is your greatest fear and greatest hope for your kids, and why? Okay, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Thank you, Randy. So, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Think about this. Think about it. Think about how you can release some of the stuff you're hanging on to now. Think about people you need to forgive. Think about people that you don't need to forgive, that you just need to be done with. And continue to grow on spiritually. Okay? Love you all. Peace and blessings.